If you have a speech or presentation coming up, you can go one of two ways with it. You can wing it, but there are risks with that. Or you can spend some time ahead of time looking at these two main components that we're going to talk about in today's video. Coming up. Hi there, my name is Deanna Ford. I'm the author of the book Command the Stage and the creator of this YouTube channel. And you know, it doesn't matter if you're doing a safety briefing on the floor, the formal speech at the company dinner, or a class presentation. You are on stage, and my book and this YouTube channel are designed to help you go from blank page to the stage. So let's get on with today's video. So you've got a speech coming up, and as I said at the beginning, a lot of people will decide to just wing it. They'll wait till they've got 8 sets of eyes on them, or 30 eyes, or more, to figure out what they're going to say. What are the risks if you don't figure it out ahead of time? Well, you risk a few things. You risk leaving out content that's just too important to leave out, that your audience needed to hear. Or if you do cover it, you might jumble it all up and not present it in an order that your audience can follow, or at least not follow very easily. The third thing that you could run into if you decide to wing it is not coming up with the best way of expressing it. You also run the risk of going off on a tangent and then maybe going over time. So the best thing to do is to spend some time ahead of time thinking about what you're going to say. Every speech has two main components. They've got the content that's in the speech, and they have the structure. I'm going to talk about both of those today. Let's start with content. Content is all of the stuff you say. So what you have to do is sit down and think about your topic and the purpose, which we talked about purpose in an earlier video. I'll leave a link below if you haven't seen that one. And what would make sense to perhaps include in your speech. So kind of a brainstorming session needs to happen. So what could you include in your speech? Well, you could include facts, which are things that are proven to be true. You could include statistics, which are numbers, things like 6 out of 10 or 57%. You could include stories. Perhaps you've got a story of an experience that you had that would relate, that you could include. Or perhaps you've got someone else's story that you could include. Of course, you'd attribute it to them. And you're on just thinking about whatever your topic is about. So let's talk about structure now. What is structure? The way I look at it, it's the order you're going to present the items that we just talked about, those components, those stories, those facts or statistics. Is the story going to come before the fact? Are you going to have a fact, a story, and then some more thoughts, your own thoughts about the thing that you're talking about? It's your friend because it's your map through your speech, what you're going to cover and when. Sure, there's the possibility of maybe rearranging on the fly, but setting out a path ahead of time is going to help you stay on track. It's kind of your friend and theirs too. Your audience's friend. Why is it your audience's friend? Well, if you go in a logical format, your audience has a much better chance of following you as you work through the process of explaining what you're explaining. So what kind of structures can you use? You could go in a chronological order. You could do a compare and contrast. You could do a structure that is designed to be more persuasive because of the way it lays out your content. If you're doing a presentation that's trying to propose a solution to a problem, there's a structure for that called problem solution. There's even a basic speech structure that's mostly modeled after the essay format, where you've got an introduction, some points, and then a conclusion. It's a great structure, super flexible, and I'll be talking about that more in future videos. And if you're interested in a link to a template for that one, just look below in the description. I've got one down there. You can download it for free. So now you've got your two components. You've got all the possibilities of things that could go into your speech and become your speech, and you've got structure. Now, how do you bring the two together? Well, you could go about it a couple of different ways, and I've done both of these. So sometimes what I do is I'll sit down, I've got an idea in my head, and I just need to purge this idea out, and I'll sit at my computer or I'll grab a pen and paper, and I'll just get the idea out of me. Let her flow. Other times, I will have an idea on the structure that I want to use, and I'll think about some things I could put in, and then I'll just start filling them in. Now, this isn't the end. There's lots more work to do, but this is how I get going. So if you do just the purging the idea, get it all out, you could then look at it and then start arranging it into an order that makes sense and create your structure that way. So in the end, it doesn't matter whether you pick your structure first and then draft your content and put it in, or you brainstorm a bunch of ideas and then arrange it in an organized fashion, so long as that what you arrive at is a logical progression through your content. It'll help your audience follow you, and it'll help you deliver it because you'll know where you're going. You'll have a greater chance of succeeding with your goal with that particular speech or presentation. So now a question for you. What kind of speech format do you typically use? Can you leave a note down below in the comments? I'd love to see what other people are working with. Okay, so that's it for this video. If you found it helpful, please pounce down on that like button. It lets other folks know that this is worth watching, could help them as well. And consider subscribing because I'm sending these out and we're walking through the speech preparation process video by video. I want to help you. Your voice matters, what you have to say matters, and I want to help you say it. And if you want to take it one step further, check out my book on Amazon. It's designed to help you go from blank page to the stage. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.